Hello, and welcome back to the Secret of Samadhi channel. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us. You will surely find enlightenment from the teachings of Lord Buddha. Today, we are going to learn about love. Love is an important feeling that everyone experiences at some point in their lives. After Buddha's death, there was a king named Usika. He was a kind ruler, and his way of ruling was compassionate. The king had a son whose eyes were like the kunala, an Indian bird famous for its beautiful eyes. So he named his son after the bird. He took his son to a temple and asked a monk about Buddhist teachings. The monk told him that human life is not infinite, and that we go through different stages in life, birth, old age, sickness, and death. People are often deluded into thinking that they will always be beautiful and young. But this is not the case, as life is full of impurities. The main source of trouble the prince will have is his dirt-filled eyes, even though they look beautiful. The future sovereign was confused when he heard the monk say that his eyes were dirty and a source of trouble. Everyone else had always praised him for his beautiful eyes, but the monk said they were a problem. The future sovereign still didn't understand what this meant. One of the king's concubines was very drawn to the prince's good looks. One day, when the princess saw the prince sitting in the garden by himself, she decided to stroke him to seduce him. However, he was a righteous person and could not accept such behavior. She then walked away. Many years later, when King Usika's son was ready to marry, he found a wife. The concubine saw her dream love marrying someone else and became jealous. She turned from loving him to hating him. Not long after his son's wedding, the king fell ill. The young concubine took care of him until he got better. The king was grateful and wanted to pay her back. The woman asked if she could rule the country for only 7 days. The king, being a man of his word, said yes. He thought that after 7 days was nothing, so he agreed to her request. The woman wrote a letter to the prince full of love and hate. She also wrote that she would feel better the day she stopped seeing his beautiful eyes. Only then did the prince understand the words the monk had said to him years ago. But now it was too late. The woman's request had been made once she sat on the king's throne, and an order she could not disobey. Kunala ripped out one of her eyes and didn't understand why people praised something so small and dirty. Kundala had to remove both of her eyes from her sight at the queen's request. The prince only felt at peace when he was in complete darkness. When his wife found out, she ran to him and cried. The prince calmed her down. With a knowledge of Buddhist teachings, you can live an infinite life. Don't keep the rage you feel, or the violence will start, she was advised. Hate and anxiety are your greatest foes, he added. The prince was warned that if he stayed in the palace, his life would be in danger. So he left with his wife. They learned to play the lute and sing, and traveled from town to town, making music for money. He has spent the rest of his life in exile. He was forced to leave after 3 days, which he spent in terror as a young man during the reign of King Usika II. The king subsequently outlawed all forms of physical contact between male relatives and their daughters. It's unclear if this is common practice for other nations, or simply an ulama-constructed law intended to reduce family discord by female sexual desire. He instructed his servants to have the musicians come into the castle, and when the king saw the lute player, he recognized him as his lost son. He was enraged when he discovered that it was his blind son who played a musical instrument. The guards informed the monarch that he had been the concubine. But the prince pleaded for her father's forgiveness, and the king was moved by his compassion. The young concubine was set free as a result of the prince's empathy. Unfortunately, as the woman felt such shame, she eventually took her own life, which is always such a difficult situation for everyone. The Buddha teaches us today that it is not only the external things that matter in life. We must have a pure heart and mind to be successful. We should have positive emotions and not negative thoughts. True love should never destroy love itself, and we should not allow jealousy to ruin everything. The man he loves knows how to forgive and makes the truth that means that helps people and does not hurt them. One of these truths is that everything is a passing illusion. Only time never stops. So don't waste your time doing things that aren't right. Be a good person, and this will bring you love, truth, and happiness. Thanks for watching the video. Follow the channel to learn about new teachings and support us with a like. Let us know if you have any questions, or if you're experiencing a jealous love or one full of positive emotions. We will eagerly await the pleasure of your company on the next video, so make sure you stay tuned. Buddha blesses you.